Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, welcome back to my video. So, I hope you are all doing great today because in today's video, I want to talk about a very intense and gripping mystery novel called Day of the Dead by G.A. Jans. So, let's check it out. So, this book is not just a simple crime novel that you read and forget, but it's a deep, dark, and complex dive into a massive, long-hidden conspiracy and the ugly reality of legal injustice in a society that often prefers to look the other way. The story starts back in 1970 with the tragic and heartbreaking death of Rosian Orozco, a young pregnant girl from the Tohono O'odham tribe. Her case was completely ignored by the local authorities at that time. And the most frustrating part is that this happened not because there was a lack of evidence, but because of deep-seated systematic racial prejudice. In this video, we are going to explore how this cold case from the past comes back to haunt the present, and how one man's relentless search for the truth exposed a complex, dangerous web of lies that has been carefully hidden for almost 30 years. Trust me, the way this mystery unravels layer by layer is something you really don't want to miss. Now, let's get into the heart of the plot and the atmosphere of the story. The timeline jumps into 2002, where a former sheriff named Brandon Walker decides to reopen this old, dusty, and forgotten case. He does this because the victim's family, specifically Emma Orozco, is still desperately and painfully searching for justice after all these years of agonizing silence. Just think about the weight of that. Emma Orozco had to wait until her final years just to see the case of her daughter's death reopened. This really highlights how truly painful it is to wait for justice and how the legal system, time and time again, often treat those without power as completely invisible. As Brandon starts to dig into the past, he finds a dark and terrifying connection between that old 1970 tragedy and a brand new, sinister criminal scheme that is happening in the present day. The story gets more and more intense as Brandon tries to uncover the truth, showing us how one man's quiet integrity and unshakable courage can finally challenge a legal system that has failed the innocents for decades. It's truly fascinating to see how the past is not really past at all. It's just waiting to be uncovered by someone who has the heart to care. The tension gets even higher when Brandon starts to notice something very strange and suspicious about the death of Eric Lagrange. Eric was a naive, vulnerable man who was unfairly framed for a murder he definitely did not commit. Even though the local police and the authorities were quick to claim that Eric died by suicide in his jail cell. But Brandon's intuition as an experienced, sharp investigator tells him that something is deeply, fundamentally wrong. So he completely refused to believe into the official story. Brandon sensed a much larger, more dangerous conspiracy hidden within the detention cell. which shows his incredible, unwavering commitment as an investigator. He cannot be swayed by the false narrative carefully crafted by those in position of power. He is absolutely determined to get to the bottom of this, no matter how hard the system tries to block his path, and his persistence is what really drives the momentum of the story forward. He treats this case not just a professional job, but as a deep moral responsibility to the victims who can no longer speak for themselves. Brandon's investigation leads him directly to Gailey Stryker, a manipulative, intelligent, and wealthy woman who is the clear mastermind behind the murder and the frame-up. She is increasingly cornered as the investigation progresses, but she takes desperate, dangerous measures to protect her status, while her husband, Dr. Lawrence Stryker, who was initially passive, gets fully drawn into this conspiracy. As the dark secrets of his own past threaten to come out into the light, Lawrence loses his passive stance and becomes fully, irrevocably complicit in the crime. The interaction between Brandon and these two create mounting tension, as Brandon tactically continues to corner them until their cruel, arrogant facade starts to crumble. It is a tense, psychological clash between a man seeking justice and a couple who thinks their money and status make them untouchable. We see Gailey's cold-heartedness and how she masterfully manipulates those around her, including her own husband, to hide her crimes and maintain their spotless reputation. It is a chilling study in how far people will go to protect a lie. This is where it gets really interesting. How does the case actually close? Brandon's relentless investigation allows him to bridge the gap between the 1970 tragedy and the new crimes. He discovers that the same people responsible for protecting the Stryker family status were involved in silencing the Orozco family decades ago. In the final, definitive piece of the puzzle comes from the TLC forensic teams who performed a professional re-autopsy on Eric Lagrange's body. They discovered cold, hard scientific evidence that he was actually strangled, proving beyond a doubt it wasn't a suicide at all. This scientific breakthrough completely shatters the fragile lies Gailey Stryker built to protect herself. By connecting long pattern of injustice that led to Rosian Orozco's death, Brandon is finally able to unmask the true masterminds. It proved that even when the law moves painfully slow for the marginalized, truth eventually finds its way to light through the strains of hard evidence. This novel does a great job of showing us how fragile the legal system can be when it faces social inequality. Powerful people often try to use the weak as scapegoats to protect their own reputation and social standing. But the story reminds us of the cost of such arrogance. Even though the book is full of pain caused by greed and betrayal, it carries a very strong, universal message that the fight for justice does not have a time limit. Through the steady dedication of Brandon Walker, the story proves that even If a massive conspiracy tries to hide the truth for a long time, the truth will always eventually find a way to come to light. The ending shows that no matter how well a crime is concealed, it will eventually be exposed if someone dares to stand up against injustice. Thank you so much for watching. Have you read this book or not? But let me know what do you think about the strikers and their action in the comment below. Bye bye.